I'm just waiting. Hey, we're live. All right, guys, we are here. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Hola.
Hey. I know. Oh, the more is not here. So that means this is going to be the best show we ever had because we in charge, baby. We in charge. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good
time. We'll play.
So this is going to be a lot of fun. So listen, do me a favor. As you're coming in, say something to us. Drop a comment. Share. Tag 3 people. It's so cool that I'm actually on the screen during this time because whenever our church goes live, I'm always in the comments telling people, hey, share. So it's good that I can actually say it with my voice this time. Who all we got? What's going on, guys?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, I see Erica's here. I see Regina's here. I see Sister Weldon's here. I see Anita Patton is here. I see Andre is here. What's going on? Please, as you're coming in, make sure you share this for us. We're super excited. I'm sharing right now. I'm taking a second to tell people to join right now. I got to make sure I spell it right because I can't talk and write at the same time. I barely can write and not talk. So I got Courtney one time texted me, and I love her so much for this. I did one of these good deep posts that was really, really deep.
It was very good.
It was good. It was about social justice. It was either about social justice or COVID. It was one of the two. And it was really good. And Shaquavia texted me. She was like, hey, I just want you to know I love you. Change such and such word. You spelled it wrong. I was like, yeah, man. So we are super excited. As you're coming in, I need you all. Sister Anita Patton said, who told me she's in charge? Jesus, it's my season. It's all right. We're super excited. We're super excited. We are here having the living room.
Joya!
And hopefully everyone is taking the time to share. We have some hot topics tonight.
That's rude, Joya. You act like you don't see anybody else on the screen.
What's up? Oh. Did somebody just speak to Brittany and just Brittany?
Yeah.
She only came in the room and spoke to Brittany. Me and you we're not sitting here right now.
I think that's bold. I hate when people are rude. I really hate when people are rude. Andre said George out here looking like the 2001 Kobe.
With the fro. Leave the Andre.
Be careful because I might cry on this live. I'm serious because I miss Kobe every day. I grieve Kobe like he was a family member. I look at pictures of Kobe and just get sad. I am not kidding. But listen, guys, we want to start from the top.
Thank you, Joya. Thank you.
On my I guess on this side of me, we have Brittany. Brittany, how are you?
I am blessed and highly favored. I am amongst the land of the living. I am breathing, and I have my life, health, and strength. So that's how I'm doing.
That has brand new meaning in 2020. Being in the land of the living, we used to say that was just a cool thing to say. No, that means something.
It means something.
When the Lord allows me to make it to watch night of this year, the testimony I'm gonna give.
Right.
Man.
Right.
So we got Brittany, and then to the bottom of us, we got Shaquavia. Shaquavia, how are you?
Am I
Can
frozen?
You hear us? You're not anymore.
Yes.
Okay, just a little bit.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay, you doing good?
Grateful.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm sorry. I'm good. I'm grateful to be here. Happy to see everybody. Amen.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad to be seen and not viewed. Another statement that has more weight in this season. So I'm super excited, guys, because we made it to another week, and a lot has happened. One of the things that we do on this show, if you will, is this is a young adult version of just our view of Bible study, if you will, that's heavily driven by current events. So we talk about what's going on. We talk about what's happening. So if you're watching, be sure to help us push this by dropping your comments. Give us your feedback so we can know what's going on. We don't want to just talk to each other. We're friends. We love talking to each other, but we really want to talk to you too. So one of the first things I want to start with is if you saw it on social media or if you saw it on the news, there was a major explosion in Lebanon today. It was massive. I saw one report. I don't know if it was true or not, but I saw one saying that possibly 70 people so far have died.
Yeah.
And it looked like a nuclear bomb. It was huge. It was a huge mushroom. It just cleared everything around, and it was scary. And I think that we need to pray for them, because the reality is that sometimes when tragedy doesn't strike close to home, you just kind of shrug it off like, people are grieving, you know. So we want to keep them in our prayers, no matter who they are, no matter what they believe. God loves them, and we want to know that people on the other side of the world are praying for them. So that's definitely a point of prayer. But another big thing in the news right now is getting around that time for kids to go back to school. Now, if y'all remember, during this time of year, we seeing the back to school sales on TV. Back when the school, the Walmart selling book bags on discount.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So how are you guys feeling about schools potentially going back or homeschool?
I know we briefly touched on this the last time we were on, and I still stand with, we don't need to send kids back to school. Today I looked, and here in Georgia, 3 photos made national news where students are caked up together. They, back to school, hey, cheesing, selfies. I think one school, it might have been in Cherokee County, they were literally back to back with their book bags, and the hallways were packed. And I'm just like, no, COVID-19, like, no, get away, 6 feet. And then there was a second grader. I don't remember where they are. It might be here in Georgia, it may not, but there is a second grader that has COVID-19, and now they're having to shut that school down. They're having to quarantine the classroom for 14 days. Anybody that came in contact with that student, they have to quarantine. So it's like, everybody's saying, well, kids can't really get this. Well, a second grader caught it. So let's take that away.
Right.
So.
And you said something a second ago, and I'm gonna give it over to Shaquavia, who's gonna really take it to another level. Well, you said something a second ago. You're talking about how the kids are closely together. And the reality is that a lot of times the kids are close together because they see their parents close together with their friends. Exactly. So if you teach a child and model to a child, hey, this is how we handle the pandemic, this is what you do, then they may act accordingly. And even still, kids are not going, here in Georgia, I was talking to one of the members of our church who has children, and she was saying that their children are not going back, but their school system is allowing homeschool, and they're even working to prepare lunches for the kids and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that's super cool. So it's clear there's clearly a divide. Everybody is not saying the same thing. In the comments, how do you all feel about kids going back to school? Shaquavia, what you think?
As an adult in school, I don't want to go back. So I don't think that that's safe. Like, I just, I don't think that is, only because, and I agree with both of you. But it's hard to not remember that we're in a pandemic, but to remember that we are in a pandemic. Like, I remember when I was quarantined for like 3 months, but I would go to the grocery store, and I had on my mask, so I knew that we were in a pandemic, but while I was quarantined, I was in a house with 1, 2, 3, 4 other people. And so we were always around each other. You know what I mean? So when I'm out at the store, I would forget, like, oh no, these are not the people that I'm normally around. I need to stay 6 feet away at least from these people. And so to that point, I'm saying that if I'm an adult that is like actively having to remember this, because they've been in a house with their family this whole time, you know what I mean? They've been able to be up under their mom, up under their dad, up under their brother, up under their sister. Mm-hmm. So I think sending them back to school in that context isn't smart, because they don't have that active remembrance of, oh, this is a pandemic. Does that make sense? Yes, we're wearing a mask. Yes, this is coronavirus, but also at the same, because they can't differentiate between those two really just yet. Not all kids, at least. Like I know, for instance, Taya from church, she needs 10 feet. That baby ain't, she's like, stay away from me, okay? Like, I want to go out and I want to eat, but I also don't want you to come too close to me. Like, this child is on another level. So, but not all kids are like that. You know, most of them are like, oh, my friends who I haven't seen in 3 months, you know? So it's like, pandemic, what? Even though I have on this mask, like, something is different, but it's not that different enough for it to click in my brain and say, oh, I can't, it's not like it used to be. So I think that is unfortunate that we are not taking that into consideration, it seems like. So I don't know. I don't think it's smart, but I do want kids to be able to see their friends. Like I do, I feel for them. You know what I mean? Because we can see our friends. We have FaceTime. We can talk on Facebook. You know what I mean? Some of us have the liberty to get in our car and at least drive by to, you know, be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Glad you're well. Like these kids don't really have that. And so Hey, so I feel bad for them, but I also want to keep them safe. Absolutely.
I feel you. Our pastor said, hey, Sharon, I'm proud of y'all. I just thank you, Bishop. We're glad you're here.
Love you, Bishop.
Kiwi Harrison said, I'm a little nervous, but trusting God and praying his blood covering over them. And also they said that their sons are going 2 days online and I believe 3 days at school. So they're kind of splitting the thing. Mm-hmm. A gentleman named Rasta King. Now his Facebook name is Rasta King, but his real name is Thomas. Thomas used to be a member of Faith Covenant Church. He grew up at this church. Oh, wow. He was raised at my dad's first church in Maryland and moved here. And so he said that his daughter is doing it online. So we're getting a lot of views. Some are saying that they're doing it online. Some are saying that you know, they're going to let the kids go back. But I think that it's a lot to think about. I think that is something, you know, I'm going to say this. And before we transition to the next subject, I just want to say this. Some of you may say, well, you guys have talked about this before. I think we're in a time where it's important that we are repetitive in this season. Because part of our problem is that we talk about something and it's real hot, and then we don't want to talk about it no more. And then it gets cold, and then it gets worse. That's why I'm only talking about 2 things. I'm talking about Black Lives Matter, and I'm talking about stay free of COVID. Because what happens is somebody dies, and we all up in arms, and we talking, and we marching, and we protesting, and we burning stuff. And then after a while, you know, somebody drops a new pair of shoes, and that's the new craze. And so I think that we should be consistent. One thing I wanted to talk about for a second is that we have been talking a lot about being in the new norm. That's like the phrase of 2020, the new norm. We can put like a tag on it. That's it. And when there is a new norm, there is a need for new routines. And so one of the things I wanted to ask you guys on the screen, and ask those of you who are watching online, to pivot in this pandemic, what new routines are you creating so that your life can move forward? I had a big thing recently where I thought about it and I said, man, I don't want this year to end and I have nothing to show for. Like when 2020 ends, I want to have something new in my life that I could say this year wasn't a complete waste. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this year to end and all I did was be sad because Kobe died, because a lot of friends and people that I know of passed away, and the world changed. I didn't go to church, hardly none. I didn't get to see none of my church friends. I haven't hugged Shaquavia and told her she has pretty hair. I didn't get to hug Brittany and tell her hair smelled good. Like I don't want to get to the end of the year and have nothing to show for it. So what I've done so far is I created a focus board, and on my focus board, I put everything that I'm focused on from now until the end of the year. Like everything that I want to accomplish, I have it written on my board, and I have dates of when I'm going to complete it, so that when this year is over, I'll be able to look back and be like, man, this was a good personal year for me. And so I think that, a lot of people want to have vision boards, but I think a vision board without an action board is pointless. A vision board is nothing but arts and crafts if you don't have any action with it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, ladies, what routines are you creating for your new norm to allow you to have something to show for at the end of the year?
Well, for me, go ahead, Shaquille.
No, go ahead.
I'll yield to the birthday queen this week. Go ahead.
Hey, Shaquille.
It is! Oh my God!
Yeah.
I don't know why that made me so excited. I forgot that anyway, even though people have been reminding me all day. Anyway, I have lots of routines that are kind of like small, I guess. But just those sticking to, like, I found the perfect like morning routine. Actually, I found the actually perfect night routine. I'm working on my morning routine right now, but I think those things, like controlling how you go to sleep determines how you'll wake up, and I think those things put you in a better spot to work on the other goals that you may have throughout the day. So I'm definitely working on those things. And I just really want to get into the routine of loving those people in my life that are for my life. I want to get into the routine of loving them better, even in this pandemic, because there's always something you can do. There's always work that can be done in your relationships. And I just want to make sure that I come out of this stronger, with, my personal goals of how many or subscribers I've on YouTube, or, even in my spiritual life, how much time I've spent with God. But I feel like all of that means nothing if my relationships aren't just as strong. So I'm definitely trying to get into the routine of just loving on my friends better, my family more, and being better for that.
Right. Brittany, what kind of routine? That's beautiful, baby. I love the fact that you have relationships in your routine that you're trying to build. I think that's beautiful, because a lot of times we're trying to build routines just around ourselves, but you're including other people in it. That's really cool. Brittany, how do you feel?
I'm the total opposite in terms of like how you have an action board and you write things down. I can't do boards. I can't do journals. I can't do planners.
Okay.
Really?
To me, it's a waste of time.
Because you seem like you would be.
Nah.
You seem like you need a planner, bro.
They're cute, but it don't stick. So we estimate all that. But for me, my routine is, it takes 21 days to build up a habit. So first of all, the one thing I do have is this 7-day-a-week tablet. And so this keeps me on track throughout my days on what I have to do day to day. But in terms of like just creating a routine during this entire pandemic, I more so just take one thing at a time. Like I wanted to become more healthier and be more fit than what I have been in the past. So one part of my routine is I get up between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm working out. And then I'm able to get my day going after that, following what's on my routine or what's on my list for the day. But just taking it one step at a time and taking one thing that I want to be a continuous habit, such as working out, and making it my habit for the first 21 days. So I've been doing that since April. So I added that. I wanted to read at least 2 to 3 books a month. So now I'm gaining more knowledge with my reading materials. I'm actually having fun doing a lot of reading and just reading from a various array of genres. So that's been another habit. And then getting back into songwriting, just writing every day. So those have been my continuous habits. Of course, it's building me up. It's building up my skills to make sure I can get back in the studio and do essentially what I want to do. But after this, after 2020, I don't want to go into 2021 saying I didn't, like you said, George, accomplishing nothing. Like I did nothing. So during this pandemic, I've been very strategic in what I'm placing my focus on and what I'm doing to get done what I need to get done.
Wow, I love it. I love it. Guys, if you're watching in the comments, write some of your routines that you're trying to build for this year. Like, tell us what is it that you want to be able to adjust your life around before the year is over. For me, I'm trying to exercise. I'm trying to pray more. I'm reading. I'm in taking courses for educational purposes. It's a lot, but we got to do it because this is not going to be a lost year. We have 9 minutes. Come to find out, our producer is going to have to cut us a little short tonight because of some other obligations. But I wanted to bring up something that Shaquavia was talking about earlier about the importance of younger people learning how to properly build relationships. And she said something to me that I thought was really funny. She was talking about how we as young people, sometimes we become experts too quickly. Like, isn't it funny how like you see like 5-year-olds who are writing self-help books? So Shaquavia, elaborate a little bit more about that.
And
Uh-oh.
honestly, sometimes I feel like a hater because it's like, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I do. I feel like a hater only because it's like, just let them be great. You know what I mean? Like, why? But also at the same time, in the back of my mind, it's like, why is everybody trying to sell a master class? Like, you're 12. Like, what have you really? I know, like, I've lived life. I have life experience. I get it. But also at the same time, like, no, because, and I feel like it's so dangerous because that really, and I don't want to sound old. I don't want to sound, I don't know, whatever people say about people who talk like this, but that really makes you a target for the enemy. And then you're going to be broke down in 3 months and wondering why and how you got here. Cause you tried to make yourself something that you weren't. Like, sit down somewhere. I get it. And you can, and here's the thing. You can pour without making yourself an authority. And I think that's my biggest issue. Pour as the Lord pours into you. Pour all you want to. I need you to, we need you to survive. But don't sit here and make yourself an authority when you barely have any for real. Like, I'm just confused. Like, go get a pastor and sit under some, like, just sit down. Why is everybody trying to sell a $149 masterclass because of the last trial they went through and they overcame it? You only overcame it by the grace of God. Like,
delivered. You just
made it out. Yes. And it was only by the skin of your teeth and the grace of God. So please go sit down.
This rant has been brought to you today by Shaquavia. Listen.
Just saying.
I think that your credibility matters. Like, you can pour on the level of your credibility. If you, for example, are an expert cook, you can really cook. Like, do a cookbook. Like, but not just you think that. Like, it's proven. People, like, people are begging you, trying to pay you for your food. All right.
Oh, that's funny.
You know what I'm saying? If you have gotten in really good shape and you really know how to do it and you have gotten your certification, train people. Do it on the level of your credibility. But we live in a day and age where we have a problem with people who really want to show that they are more than they really are. And that's not always good. And our generation is terrible at it.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my.
social media doesn't make it any better. You have YouTube, you have Instagram Live. Of course, I think people are still on Periscope. And so all these platforms make it easier for you to get on and say, oh, I do this and I'm really good at it, or I think I'm good at it, or I've been through, for example, you just got out of a relationship yesterday. Tonight, you going live talking about relationship 101. You just got out the relationship yesterday.
First of all, you were the reason the relationship ended. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to go sit down and get delivered and healed somewhere. Okay. They couldn't handle you. Okay.
You're the problem.
You're the problem. Why are you trying to give people advice? What is happening?
Hey man, listen, we got to get ready to wrap up, but I want to say one more thing. Being that this is a youth Bible study slash conversation, I want to close out on a spiritual tip with a very simple, easy, digestible message for everyone who is watching. I want you to understand this. It is important for you to do everything you can for your self-care. Take your vitamins, get all of your supplements, eat right, social distance, wear a mask, do the right.
Go on walks though, so you can get the sun, because you need the sun.
Vitamin D, yes. Do these things, but do not take all of your time and put all of your confidence in your self-care. Remember this. You must remember the source that allows your self-care to work.
Come on.
I felt that. The other day, I had a friend, or a very close person to me, was telling me about some pain that they're having in their hand. And being that I'm becoming a health nut, I was giving them all kinds of supplements to take. I said, you need to take turmeric. You need to do this. 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 And I told them all these things they need to do. And the other day I was praying. Believe it or not, we still do that. And I was praying. I was like, God, touch the health of my loved ones. And God told me clearly, I felt it in my spirit. He said, go get your anointing oil.
Hey.
He said, get your anointing oil.
Yeah.
Go to the person.
Wow.
With your oil and anoint their hand.
Wow.
And I felt in my spirit. Sometimes we have so much confidence in things that we lose confidence in the person who gave those things the power to work.
Come on.
Exactly.
And so I had to repent, because I do believe and I do know we must trust what God created. We must have good sense for sure. But while we have good sense, we cannot have our confidence in those things. Remember God. That's all I'm trying to say.
Remember God.
God. It's God who allows the vitamin C to work.
Man, that was good.
God who allows the vitamin D to work. It's God who allows the echinacea and the sea moss and the ginger root and the turmeric and the black seed oil and the elderberry.
Come on.
All day.
Yeah.
All of it, the spirulina and the chlorophyll, is He that allows it to work. So as we close,
my gosh.
please take care of yourself, but don't forget, it is God who allows all things to work for us. It is He who has made us and not we ourselves.
That was so good. That was so good.
Right?
That was
Remember
so good.
God. Remember God. This was another one. We did it.
Make sure you all sow into that word, because that's awesome.
Please sow into that word. $FCC
$FCCATL. Yes. If anything blessed you, $FCC.
Share this live. Okay.
Share this live.
Yeah.
We hope it was informative. We hope it was fun, but we also hope it builds your faith. Yeah. God is our force. We love you. Thank you so much. We're out of here.
Bye, y'all.
Are we still live?